to sign. All right, are you fine? Are you good now? All right, so it's time for you to write an expression for the number of girls in terms of the number of boys, B. So you just write an expression that to show that for the number of girls, to show just using B alphabet. They didn't ask to use any number. So there are 460 girls and boys in total. Is it at this? Okay, not at the number. At the school. At the school. So what you want to do is you want to write an expression for it. So if I should say that there are 5 boys and X number of girls in the class, an expression will be 5 plus X for the total number of people in the class. Do you understand? Do you understand? If there are 5 boys and there are X number of girls, for example, in your class, the total number of people in your class, if it was to be written in an expression, it's going to be 5 plus X. Most times expressions though can't take you to the final answer. It can only be simplified. So if, for example, they said, okay, girls are twice the number of boys in class, and so if the question says there are X number of boys, but girls are twice the number of boys, so you are going to use X for the number of boys, and you are likely going to use 2X for the number of girls. By the time you write X plus 2X, that's an expression for the number of boys and number of girls, which finally gives a total of 3X. That's the expression. So in this case now, the question says, at Jane's school, there are 22 more girls than boys. Write an expression for the number of girls in terms of the number of boys. There are 460 girls and boys total at the school. What are you going to do to write the number of girls? Huh? Okay, think it through. Think it through. So from the question, the number of boys is represented with B, but number of girls can be represented with any other alphabet, G, letter G. But the first statement says, at Jane's school, there are 22 more girls than boys. So if we were to represent the number of girls in the whole 460 students in the school, we are going to represent in an expression, we are just going to add 22 to B to show that the number of girls, there are actually 22 more girls than boys. So if the number of boys is represented with the letter B, all right, if there is represented with the letter B, the number of girls would be what? Okay, let me get straight to the answer. Have you thought of this? Have you thought of this? So you end up getting the number of girls to be B plus 22. That's the expression. But if you were asked to find yeah, it's an expression, but you don't necessarily need to put this number of girls equals to. the expression is simply B plus 22. That's the expression that represents girls. Then if the next question now says, using part A, that's using the expression you got in A, write an equation, all right? Write an equation involving B and solve it to find the number of boys at the school. You already know that the total number of students in the school is 460. So if the expression for girls, in terms of boys is B, but for girls, the expression that represents the number of girls is B plus 22, because the statement made us understand that there are 22 more girls than boys. So if we were to solve it and solve for the number of boys, we'll have to equate the expression with 460 and solve for the number of boys and solve for B. Did you get that? Yeah. So what will be the number of boys now? What will be the number of boys? Did you say B minus 22? Yeah, G minus 22. But no need of using G. Write the equation. No need of using G. Use B, which represents the number of boys. We don't know the number of girls yet. So if you say B equals to G minus 22, it means that you already know the number of girls. But we want to solve the number of boys. So if G is actually B plus 22, all right, then what we want to do is we want to okay, go ahead. Are you seeing my screen? Okay, all right. So the first thing you should understand is B plus 22 represents that of girls. But when you want to do that of boys, are you there? You want to add girls and boys together to get the total, which is 460. So we already know that of girls is represented with B plus 22, right? And that of boys is represented with B. So this will be the equation. We now have B plus 22 plus B equal to 460. Now the question is, you want to solve for B, which is the number of boys. Only when you found the number of boys, then you can go ahead and add 22 to the number of boys to know the number of girls. But this equation is, you see, we used part of A, which is for girls, then we added B again, which is the number of boys, for us to get a total of 460 students. So we are going to solve B. You can solve for B, right? All right, so go ahead, solve for B, and let's hear your answer. $460. That's not 50. 460 minus 22, yes. 60, yeah, minus 22. Then you add the like terms. You add the B's together. Did you say B2 or 2B? Yeah, when you add the B together, how many B's are there? B plus B. There is just 2B. Look at this. There is just 2B here. Which other B are you talking about? Yes, of course, there is 2B's. By the time I opened the bracket, I had B plus 22 plus B. So what you want to do is you want to add like terms by adding the B's together. So you end up having 2B plus 22 equals to 460. Is at this point you can now subtract 22 from both sides. You will now have 2B plus 22 minus 22 equals to 460 minus 22. Then at this point, do you know what to do next? Or do you understand up to this point? Okay. So from this point now, you know, you plus 22 and minus 22 will cancel out. And you'll be left with this. So go ahead and solve for B. What will B be? 460 minus 22 is what? Okay, are you seeing my screen? Did you see what I did on the screen? Are you viewing my screen now? What window are you on now? Are you viewing my screen? It's showing. My screen is still on. 2B plus 22 minus 22 equals to 460 minus 22. Subtracting 22 from both sides. So you now have 2B equals to 460 minus 22. So 460 minus 22 is what? Nathan. Hello? Hello, Nathan. Yeah, 2B will be equals to 438. So what would be B? Yeah. So what will be the final answer? B will be equals to what? $219. Well done, well done. Well done, 219. But now that you've known about the number of boys, we will now solve for the number of girls based on the expression we got in A. So what will be the number of girls then? Exactly, 219 plus 22. Yeah, so what's the answer? Did you say 231? Oh. 241. Yes, well done. You did a great job here.